extent, but he bolted up that day. Since then, he's had 2 starts in Dubai, and he's been disappointing, really, with what he's found. So he's got questions to answer on the back of that, but he has had a short break, and if they've got him back to form, then he might have a chance. But he looks like a thorough stayer, really, and this, for all that he's got winning form over shorter, might just be sharp enough.
Now, Rawaki ran really well when Dare to Achieve finally put it all together at Hamilton last time.
Yeah, and ground conditions are in his favour. He's another one that's got a good chance on these terms. He looks better than ever at the moment, I think. He stays further than this, but I think that this kind of trip is fine, and having run over a mile and a half and run really well last time out, I think going back up to this distance will be ideal. And I can see this kind of being his ideal kind of trip. Ground conditions, as I say, are fine for him. Good run in the John Porter behind Cubanita and Noble Mission earlier on in the season. That kind of form gives him a very good chance.
Check out the scrolling at the bottom of the page. That's the betting for Newmarket's next race, and York's next and Newmarket's next might be rather inconveniently adjacent. So if you're interested in the prices for Newmarket, they're scrolling through at the bottom. Hopefully they won't actually clash. Of the rest, to mention very briefly?
Well, Kappa Rushes, who has got some good form during the course of last year, won a Gordon Stakes, was it, at Goodwood, was quite well placed in doing so. Might be fairly well placed here, I suppose. But First Mohican, the horse that I like, thought he should have been market leader, and I've had a few quid on him.
Let's join Stuart.
It's Clever Cookie, and the black and green is about to be eased into stall 7. Starter waiting on top of the rostrum steps as the handlers do their work with the last handful of runners for this valuable prize. Renew looks like being one of the last to go in here, and will be heading into stall 12 towards the outer. Schwayman sits and waits. Ralston Road walks into stall 4 for Pat Shanahan and Ronan Whelan. And the last couple coming in. Renew the last one then for the Stowe Family Law LLP Grand Cup. Just about set. And they're off to race over a 1.75 miles. Party line down the inner, a red jacket, bustled up to try and make the most of her decent draw. She's alongside First Mohican in the white. The free sweating Renew out wide handy with Altalalea in a purple jacket, and the latter crossing over to lead at the end of a furlong and a half. Altalalea then from the white face Rawaki. Party line up the inner, Renew wider out. First Mohican tracking them with a nose banded Schwayman as they meet the round course. Ralston Road, meanwhile, has settled towards the inner in a yellow sleeve jacket, tracked there by Servino. And then Statutory, one of the Godolphin pair. Statutory, the white cap, and Kappa Rushes in the all blue. Clever Cookie, the well-backed favourite, the black and green, held up, and Repeater looks on from last place as they make quite leisurely progress across the Knavesmire to the end of half a mile. And it's Altalalea who leads from Renew in the hands of Antonio Fresu. Rawaki, Hayley Turner, a black and gold jacket, disputing third with Party line up the inner. And then Schwayman inclined to take a bit of a grip from First Mohican around the inner. Kappa Rush is out wide, patiently ridden today. Then Statutory, Ralston Road, Clever Cookie, Servino in the very pale colours of pink and yellow, and back to Repeater. So along the far side they go, and moving on down towards the last mile. Still a sedate gallop set by Adrian Nichols aboard Altalalea. From Renew, the flashy white face of Rawaki in the chasing line with Party line up the inner. And then Kappa rushes a little deeper out in the hands of Mikhail Barcelona, passing halfway. First Mohican tucked away on the inside from Schwayman. Ralston Road and Statutory race next, then Servino on the inner of Clever Cookie, and finally Repeater. Beginning the left-hand sweep for home, 3/4 of a mile left to travel in the Grand Cup. It's been a pretty soft time in front thus far for Altalalea, and still with ears pricked she leads from Renew. Couple of lengths to Party Line from Rawaki. And then First Mohican in a white jacket. Barcelona now busy bustling away on the outer on Kappa Rushes from Schwayman. Ralston Road and Savino follow next from Statutory. Clever Cookie, the black and green last but one. And Repeater remains at the tail. A bit of a sprint for home now. 3.5 furlongs to travel. Altalalea, Renew bustled up on the near side from Party Line. First Mohican far side. Ralston Road in a yellow sleeve jacket angling for a position. Then Rawaki from Savino. Schwayman away to the extreme left is making a little bit of headway as First Mohican and Ralston Road move on together inside the two. Schwayman joining in. Savino switches to the far side. Rawaki looking for a way through. Then Repeater. Clever Cookie now beginning to get going in the clear. Charging down the near side. Furlong left to go. Clever Cookie comes upside Schwayman and Ralston Road who battle on tenaciously. Clever Cookie leaning left close home. Ralston Road fighting on hard. Clever Cookie. Ralston Road sticks his neck out. Inches in it. Very tight. Couldn't split Ralston Road and Clever Cookie. They went past together. Right in behind them, Schwayman. Rawaki in fourth. Bit of a thriller.
Just a little bit. Has Ralston Road hung on, or has Clever Cookie got there? Well, I'm going to leave that to the judge. As a great man once said. Schwayman's third.
Want?
Next race at Newmarket is that race again, Division 2. Number 8, Secret Brief is the nominee, and 9 of them go. Heartbreak Hero is the favourite at 5-2 from 11-4. Burnt Sugar's 130, 9-2, and upwards the rest. Quick thought?
I don't have too many.
On this race specifically, you mean?
Yeah. No, just generally. Heartbreak Hero, top of the market for William Haggis, who can get them ready first time up and got a fairly nice and relatively sharp pedigree as well. I would expect Skygazer to take a step forward from that debut when very, very green behind Dr. Nohan. Seemed pretty clueless that day, and I think there will be a fair jump forward. I thought shaped with a little bit of encouragement in one of a few Godolphin ones in that race, and should improve quite a lot on the back of that. Whether that'll be enough to win this against some horses that have got nice pedigrees is debatable. Scuttom for Brian Meehan and Martin Dwyer, son of Kodiak, whose progeny are invariably very, very sharp early on, could be of some interest as well.
OK, they still haven't called it at York. Number 3, Clever Cookie. Number 5, Ralston Road. Ralston Road's very marginally edging it on the exchanges, but not by much. A real thriller. Now it's the other way round, as I say. That is really, really close.
Has Disenyo been supported in the market? It's an early one for Sir Michael Stark. He doesn't have too many early season 2-year-olds, does he? And this one is related to a couple of 2-year-old winners. It'd be interesting to see if there was any bit of a nibble.
Yeah. Heartbreak Hero's been backed into 9-4. Burnt Sugar's 7-2, just drifted a tad. Disenyo's 4-1. Alactel is 13-2 from 8. Skygazer 17-2 from 8. 12-1 bar.
I think on the basis of them coming across to this side in the previous race, you would probably rather be in the lower numbers than the higher numbers. The horse that, I know the first and second in the previous race raced more towards the centre of the track, but the one that was finishing from the pack was against the stand side rail, and that, as John said before the first race, did seem to be a little bit of an advantage yesterday. If there was one on the track, it was probably being towards the stand side late in the afternoon. So I think if you could choose a draw, you'd probably go low rather than high here.
They're off. Racing away, slowly away, was Heartbreak Hero down the near side. We'll have to get some cover. They're not going very hard early. Heartbreak Hero now latches onto the back of the main group. So Speedy Move, this time they stay more to the far side. Speedy Move alongside Burnt Sugar in the early stages. Skygazer up with the pace, and Alactal's very keen in fourth against the far rail. Beecham Ace comes next. Disegno is after that one, just as well buried away amongst runners, and slightly further behind comes Scootum, and Heartbreak Hero is still at the back of the field. So approaching the halfway stage of the contest at a steady early gallop, Burnt Sugar is now coming through to head Speedy Move, with Godolphin Skygazer right there and Alaktal on the far side just being nudged along now. Also pushed along is Disegno down the stand side. Justice Well is now flat out too, and on the far side Scootum trying to land a blow. After that slow start, Heartbreak Hero has got a mountain of work to do and surely can't possibly get there. Burnt Sugar's come breezing to the frontier, leading from Alaktal. The leader just crosses over to the far side rail. Justice Well is staying on strongly now, and Burnt Sugar has the breath of Justice Well on his back. Justice Well still finishing off really well and getting up. Justice Well, David Ellsworth on fire with his 2-year-olds. Burnt Sugar second. In third place, Disegno, who did some good late running quite strongly at the end, and Speedy Move came next with Beecham Ace.
Justice Well wins the second race at 12-1 for David Ellsworth and William Carson. Second was Burnt Sugar for Pat Dobbs and Richard Hannon. Third, Disegno for Ryan Moore and Sir Michael Stout. It's a dead heat called at York in our second race between number 3 Clever Cookie and number 5 Ralston Road. Graham Lee just forcing Clever Cookie's nose alongside Ralston Road's right on the line. But hold on to your hats, we're at Chester next. For the Appletiser, it's been a long time since I've had Appletiser.
Nice.
Phillies Handicap. Do you like Appletiser?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. 6 furlongs the trip. There were some overweights there, which I briefly saw. Royal Rascal, 3-1 joint favourite along with Millie's Gift. Bond Desire is 7-2 and it's 13-2 and upwards the rest. Quick thoughts?
That Bond Desire and Royal Rascal were the two most interesting horses in the race in many ways. I think Bond Desire from stall 4 likely to try and go forward and get the lead. Better than ever 2 starts so far this season. The return to a slightly softer ground will help. Closely matched with Love Island from last time out. Interesting matchup between the two. I think that Bond Desire on slightly better terms and with a £3 claimer in the saddle to make the terms even more in favour of Bond Desire, should be able to reverse that form, particularly as she's the better drawn of the two this afternoon. Royal Rascal, who's done all of its winning at York but showed at Pontefract on reappearance that it's not just York where she's effective, is probably the main danger, with Millie's Gift, who made a promising reappearance when the race is working out well, another danger.
They're racing over the 6 furlong trip for the Appletiser Phillies Handicap. Smartly away against the fence is Royal Rascal, leading with Hannah's Turn in the early stages. Bond Desire races a close third, and they're being followed then by Califantine against the fence. At the back of the field, Jewel Next Door, and wide on the course in the green and blue colours is Millie's Gift. Also Love Island towards the rear with a sheepskin noseband, but Bond Desire has now made her way to the front under Julie Burke and leads by just over a length. Back in second place in a dispute of second, Hannah's Turn, the yellow cap. Royal Rascal against the fence. Beautiful view in the blue and yellow, improving towards the leaders. In behind them